Alright, welcome back to some more Professor Layton versus Phoenix, Wright? As you can tell, this is the final witch trial. Before I begin, let me just say it's 1:46 in the morning right now, and I gotta get up and be out the door before noon tomorrow, or around noon. I don't know. I just know I need to record about 3 hours, so it's gonna either be at a good stopping point at the 3-hour mark when I'm doing this, or at to be continued part because, I'd like this to just last through the week and then be done with it there. So, yeah. So now let's move on to the actual game. Enough with that update. It's finally starting. The last witch trial. The witch's court will no longer serve any purpose once the great witch Espella is burned. That blank stare in her eyes. But Espella isn't Espella. I'm not buying it one bit, even if her name does rhyme with the Great Witch. I mean, the storyteller is her father, after all. I don't know what happened between them, but a father would never do that to his child. I think you're right, man. But no one else does. They're all throwing accusations at her. I just feel so sorry for Espella. Her and her blank stare. It feels like this whole case is under some kind of bad spell. I mean, Espella isn't even acting like herself. A spell? Yeah, we just can't see it yet. That's why it's so vital that we expose the real witch behind all this. And we've got to do it during this trial. I believe in you, Nick. Oh, by the way. Yeah? Are you giving a smirk? Like, I feel like I've seen that kind of smirk before. What are you going to do during this trial? I mean, if you were thinking about watching... What? You mean you don't want me to be by your side? I didn't take you for such a cold-hearted guy, Nick. That's not what I mean! Let me finish before you start jumping to conclusions. What I was going to say is that you can't let people see you. You're supposed to be, like, you know, dead. You were cast into flames, remember? Oh, right. That's... You mean, after I was on trial for the murder of Sir Top Hat? Don't underestimate me, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? I've already got it covered. Check it out! I brought this with me! With this masterful disguise, I shall be transformed into Maya the Ironclad! I found it in Barnum's room, and I figured I'd borrow it for a while. Yeah, borrow. Don't tell me you're going to the trial wearing that helmet. Isn't there supposed to be like a rule where there's no hats allowed or helmets in the trial? I sure am. Screw the rules. Can't be Maya the Ironclad without being clad in some armor after all. Some iron. Let's just hope Barnum doesn't flip out. Oh, let's just hope Barnum doesn't flip out if he sees you wearing his trusty headgear. Anyway, I'm going to do what I can to help. We've got to save Espella, right? Her and her dazed look right here. We will. Come on, let's get going. It's time to break whatever bad spell Espella's under and put an end to these witch trials once and for all. Right! Your name, right? You're okay with that, aren't you, Espella? Yep, she's okay with it. No answer means yes.
There's a ton of people out there, Nick.
Let's do this. Come on.
Now, as scheduled.
Man, what a creepy looking last trial. With all the flames, and you can hear the flickering of them too.
The trial of Espella Cantabella shall commence forthwith. Knights of the court, are you ready now to cross your swords of justice?
No! Actually, we're not! We don't have our commander, Barnum! I wish he was here! Man, you are so full of yourself.
The Knights of the Inquisition have spent countless years trying to track down the elusive Great Witch. The secret of her identity shall finally be brought to light in this very court. All those present, pay attention so that the truth may be burned into your memory. Today, the legend of the Great Witch shall become a closed chapter in the history of Labyrinthia.
Oh boy, we got someone that slashed his hair and you can see the slash marks. I didn't know Red was in the audience. Or, his twin brother, Red 2, from Fire Red. Okay, now you're just being funny.
You could cut the atmosphere with a knife.
Or her claw hand.
It's so loaded, but at the same time, oddly subdued.
And now, the whole truth shall be revealed to all. The moon, eye of the night, shall bear witness to that. Don't you agree, Defender?
Your Honor, the defense is ready.
That's all I gotta say.
How regrettable. I see you won't allow yourself to be provoked.
Oh no. You may begin with your opening statement, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Man, the music's dramatic too. Thank you. People of Labyrinthia, the story has ended. Its end has been sealed through the storyteller's death. The one who put an end to the life of the storyteller and to the story which governed our lives was the great witch Bezella, a foul embodiment of evil who has long been lurking among us, concealed deep within the consciousness of a certain girl. I'm sure you all are aware of her name. I refer, of course, to Espella Cantabella. Wow, the cat's with her too. Today, at dusk, a tragedy unfolded right in front of us all. A giant fire dragon descended into the town square, devouring the storyteller. 'Twas a nightmarish vision that we shall never be able to forget. That fearsome fire beast, of which we had only heard tell through legend, returned at the hand of the Great Witch. Indeed, it was just as in the illustrations of the legendary fire.
And the girl within whose heart lies the great witch herself has committed her final and most heinous crime. Scratch attack. The crime of patricide.
It is Red. Only Red does that. And his twin brother.
May this trial serve as an offering. An offering to the storyteller who can be with us no longer.
Thank you, High Inquisitor. The Inquisition may now begin proceedings.
As I have said, this unthinkable crime took place in the town square, within plain sight of all Labyrinthians. Everyone is a witness. Surely there can be no need for a formal interrogation.
You can't say that!
I suggest you mind your temper, Defender. In a few moments, you will have no option but to accept the truth.
You can't do that, no. No one was up at the tower. Only people ran up to the tower.
Once we hear it from the very mouth of the accused.
Oh, no, you aren't. From Espella? Jeez, your scratch attack's very fearsome.
The Inquisition hereby demands that the accused, Espella Cantabella, testify about her crime. Or rather, that she confess to it.
The Inquisition request shall be granted. You said demand. Seriously. This court's a joke. Bring Espella Cantabella down to the witness stand. Wow. Put her up in the cage all dramatically and just bring her back down. Okay. This is it. The last trial. This is it. Our final battle. In all likelihood, Espella will admit to the charges. I have only one chance to break whatever spell she's under. When she testifies, there are bound to be some clues to the truth in there.
Now that you are here, witness, state your name and tell us your real name as well.
My name is Espella Cantabella, but I have another name too. Bezella.
Order! Order! Order in the court! Then you really do admit that you are the Great Witch? You openly concede that you are Bezella herself, the cause of all evil and destruction?
Yes.
I knew it! We're done! She's a Bezella!
How terrifying! I mean, she killed her own father!
How dare she kill our beloved storyteller! We don't want a trial! We want to see her burn! 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 Jeez. The Inquisition was right. The accused herself has spoken. It would seem there is no need for an interrogation.
I assure you, there is none. The only possible verdict has been clear to everyone from the very beginning.
Hold it!
Well, that is one weird outfit you got on there, Maya.
Let's hear Espella's, the accused's side of the story. Magic exists in this world, right? So if you think about it, Espella could be under the influence of a spell, too.
Oh my! Oh yes. What I would like to know is this. Just who in the world are you, young knight?
Oh, me?
How to put it? I feel as if we've met somewhere before. It was... Where was it again? You look very familiar with that black hair. And that stature. And size, too.
We haven't. It's just your imagination, Your Honor. My lord. As for who I am, I'm with Sir Blue Knight. Not in a romantic way, of course. Please, no. Please, not Nick. I mean, Sir Blue Knight, yeah.
Is this a friend of yours, Defender? Yes, Don't comment on the helmet, please. She really wouldn't like to have her face seen. How can I put this gently? It's not something you'd like to look at. It's kind of very ugly, actually. That's why we're not romantic. Hey! What are you talking about? You make it sound like there's a problem with my face. Actually, there is a problem with her face, Your Honor. She has a huge pimple on her forehead. It's the size of an eyeball. You don't want to see that, Your Honor. No. Oh, no.
I can assure you, we have no interest in your face, miss, even if you have the size of an eyeball pimple. Although, I do wonder where you acquired that particular helm.
Why's that?
A helm of that ilk is not something you can simply purchase from a street stall.
Well,
I found it! Yes, in the forest. You know, Finder's Keeper.
What are you doing, Maya? You promised me you wouldn't draw any attention. Good job.
Sorry, Nick. I lost it a bit.
Well, anyway, the defense's opinion is as follows, and this has nothing to do with the case. We're in a trial. I object to this pointing of fingers. We should hear the defendant's testimony before coming to a verdict, though.
There may be some things she isn't aware of. How amusing. As this is to be the last witch trial ever held, perhaps it is only fitting that we cross swords before you accept your defeat.
I agree. Thus, the accused herself will now testify. Miss Cantabella, tell the court of your involvement in this incident. Whew, that was a close one.
I finally realized that Espella has been lying dormant within me. Once evening fell and the rain ceased, I climbed up the wooden stairs of that bell tower and awaited this parade. I awaited for my father's speech to end, and then I summoned the fire dragon. I don't know why I killed my father.
Her eyes weren't blank there.
That was a very unusual testimony. When you used magic against your father, were you doing so as Espella Cantabella, or as the great witch Bezella? A most fascinating query. However, it matters not!
The Inquisition has ingeniously solved the query by disregarding it. That's not how you solve something. The electric's out. Just disregard the electric being out and go without power. That's how you solve it.
What matters is that Bezella exists within this girl. Being a witch is a crime. Such a fundamental rule will always hold. And this girl here is not just any witch. She is the Great Witch.
Espella has admitted the charges, just as I suspected. I just have to hope I can find some contradictions in her testimony. If I don't, we can kiss this trial. Mwah! Goodbye. And then I will be a chef forever. Or a baker, not a chef. And then I'll be doing this more often.
The defense may begin the interrogation. Defender, steady your sword of justice. Should I see it waver or point in the wrong direction, even once, I will not hesitate to cut you down with my iron claw, and cut down your arguments and end this interrogation. You had better keep that in mind. You don't want me to bring out the claw, don't you?
Yes! Good response, Phoenix, because that was just horrible. Alright. Hold it! Hold it! You say you finally realized it.
Yes, I've always had a feeling, but my memory is rather hazy. I've always felt as though I'm not who I think I am, and that I've forgotten something very important. Incidentally, when did you become aware of Bezella's presence within you? It was when I went to the Great Archive with Mr. Layton and Luke. Ever since I saw the mural depicting Bezella, I started having strange flashbacks. I saw things from the distant past, memories of the legendary fire.
The legendary fire? Oh my! Did these flames get even brighter when I said that?
I saw it. I was there when it happened. I saw the town consumed by flames.
You couldn't have! Why, that's impossible! The legendary fire occurred over 100 years ago! And there were no survivors!
Yes, I know that. But it's true. I remember it happening. Because I'm Bezella.
Jeez, what a creepy way to end that statement. Once evening fell and the rain ceased, I climbed the wooden stairs of that bell tower and... Hold it! Where were you before that? We were looking for you.
I'm not sure. When I came to, I was in the town. It was pouring, so I wanted to go to Aunt Patty's bakery and wait for it to stop. But I couldn't face her, so I just went to the forest instead.
So you were in the forest until the incident? We couldn't find you, though.
The rain finally stopped, and the time came. I made my way over to the town square. I was feeling strange, as if I wasn't myself. Then I noticed I was up in the bell tower, looking down at the square.
Espella's not a witch, and that means there's got to be something strange about this statement. Witness, continue your testimony.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. We'll come back to that.
I waited for my father's speech to end, and then I
Hold it! You summoned the fire dragon with that spell, Grand Worm, right?
Yes, that's the one. Although I won't say it now, I'm sure something terrible would happen if I did.
That's fine! Absolutely fine, yes! No need to prove you that statement! In fact, the court forbids you to prove it! Oh, yeah, don't do that, please.
Of course I won't say it.
Come on. This is supposed to be the Great Witch?
Look at her. There's no way Espella's a witch. It must be like you said, Nick. Someone's cast an evil spell on her.
Something in this testimony keeps nagging at me. That's for sure. I just need to figure out what.
I don't know why I killed my father.
Hold it! That may be because you didn't kill him.
Objection!
It's useless, Defender. Scratch! Witness! Who killed the storyteller? It was me. I summoned the fire dragon. I killed him. The storyteller chose his own death. That is a fact that cannot be changed. 'Tis common knowledge that all things written in the story will become a reality. And Besella's appearance has been written into the story's final chapter. She has no choice but to act out the role that has been written for her.
In other words, everything happens in accordance with the storyteller's story.
Nick? Have you noticed how weird Espella is acting today?
No! With those blank eyes of hers, and just those blank eyes alone. They're not suspicious whatsoever. I sure have. It's almost like she's a puppet, but who's pulling the strings?